All right, hello, welcome back, everybody. PayPal and Patreon are down below if you want to support me. Only do so if you actually can. So I know I made another AI electricity power consumption video recently, but I'm making this one again because the situation is so dynamic and the growth rate in AI's power consumption has rapidly accelerated. So back when I made the first one, back in the first half of last year, AI was up to utilizing 15 plus gigawatts of active electricity demand, and it had taken it about a year and a half to get up to that level. Then, in just 6 months or so following that, before even reaching the end of last year, 2024, it had gone over 30 gigawatts of power demand coming from AI. And now, in just the last maybe 2.5 months, it has already shot up past 40, which said expansion rate is obviously even faster than the prior one, which was much faster than the original one, to where originally it was expected to hit and exceed 100 gigawatts of power demand by 2030, and then that was adjusted a bit to about 120 by 2030. Now, based on actually seeing these usage rates of electricity by AI in the real world, it now seems set that AI power demand will actually hit 100 gigawatts across the global grid in total by just the end of next year, by the end of 2026, which may actually result in you seeing physical real world problems result from that, because that is, you know, 3 times faster than what was expected. And the current schedule, the current rate of oncoming additions of new power plants, of additional power generation capacity to everybody's grids are not actually set to keep pace, to the point where even some of the proponents, some of the promoters or CEOs of these AI industries have actually themselves have warned that this may cause grid issues. Overall, as you saw on the ranking chart earlier, AI, in terms of its total power use across the world, is now technically, if it were a country, ranked number 12 out of 194, or 195 technically if you include AI. It is somewhere in the lower 40s in terms of gigawatts of power demand, which puts it a bit below Saudi Arabia, who is just under 50. And of course, to adjust the graph scale, you can always chop off the top 3 or 4 members to make it so it's not just China, the US, and India skewing everyone else into these small micro bars on the side. But this has been a rapid climb up the rankings and has only accelerated previously just a few months ago when I made that. Before that, you would have to go all the way down into a top 30 list instead of top 20, and AI was back down at number 29, 28. And so just 2 years from now, if things play out as expected, AI will jump up into not just the top 10, but the top 5, and will actually jump past Japan's average electricity demand levels and only be behind Russia, India, the US, and China. Now, there is good news attached to this, as adding and totaling everything together that is intended to be brought out into use, it looks like power demand levels from AI will plateau out in the 2030s, although they will be plateauing out at a extremely high level. But overall, this is what its average electricity demand total should look like over time. And that'll be it for this one. So thank you everybody for sticking around and listening. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already. PayPal and Patreon are down there below if you want to support me. Only do so if you actually can. There's a link in the description to a Google Drive full of all kinds of different graphs, charts, data compilations, everything. There's a link to my photography Instagram and a link in the top pinned comment to my cat's YouTube channel. May God bless and protect all of you, and I will see you all around next time.